Today, we're going to answer the age-old question of should you rent where you live? Let's get into it. Before we get started, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. We are about to hit 500 subscribers, which is huge to me. My goal was 1,000 subscribers by the end of next year. And in just 2 months, we already have almost 500 people in this community watching this channel, consuming the content, and becoming better people. So for that, I want to thank you guys. For those of you who are new, my name is Pete DiCarlo. This entire channel is based around investing in the stock market, real estate, getting your personal finances together, and living your best financial life. One of the biggest things that I sought after when I wanted to get my personal finances in check was if I should rent or own the place that I live at. And this is kind of a touchy subject because a lot of people believe that if you're renting a property that it's dumb because you're not owning anything at the end of it and that you walk away with basically nothing. And on the other side of things, people think that renting is better because while you don't own anything at the end of it, you can move whenever you want. You don't have to fix anything if something breaks. And that gives a lot of people a sound sense of mind. So in this video, I want to go over, is it really better to rent where you live? So I felt that the easiest and most effective way to do this was to use a property that me and my friends own. This way, I know exactly what the bills are, exactly what the mortgage is, and I know the market very well. The place that I'm going to be showing you is a duplex, but let's just treat it as if it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. So when we close on this property, the final price was $150,000 and we put 20% down, which would be $30,000. So all of the bills at the end of the month are $1,059.44. This includes the principal, the interest, the escrow, which accounts for, insurance and taxes. On top of that, it's very smart to add about $250 a month extra for repairs. This could be a new roof every 30 years, a new hot water heater every couple years, a new heater every 10 years, and just average maintenance that goes into owning a house. Something else to think about is opportunity costs. Remember, we put $30,000 down to get this property, and if we're living in it, think about it that this money could be used to invest somewhere else. So since we put $30,000 down, let's imagine we put that $30,000 in the S&P 500. At 7% return a year, that $30,000 in the S&P 500 would give us $2,100 return every single year. So this money is what we could be getting as a return if we didn't buy the property. So we have to take that into account. Now, adding all of this up, your total cost to live in this property is $1,484.44. Now, what a lot of you will probably say is, well, what about appreciation? You've made videos where you talked about how much money you've made in appreciation with this exact property. But yes, that's true, but most of that appreciation was made because of the timing of the market. We could buy this place and it could tank tomorrow. So what I think is an effective and conservative number would be 2% appreciation every year. As well with getting this 2% appreciation, the average person only lives in their house for 7 years. And I'm not gonna count what your closing costs would be when buying the place or when selling the place, so I think that 2% is a good number to stick with. So if you take your house that's worth $150,000 and you're getting a 2% return every year, that's $3,000 return a year or $250 a month. So if we were to put all of these numbers together, at the end of it, net, every single month, you are paying $1,234.44. Now, yes, you can make more money off of writing this property off on your income taxes, such as writing off your interest on the property and your real estate taxes. But that is so personal to you and how much money you make that I don't really think it's worth putting in this video. Now, the biggest thing that I see from people who own their own houses is that, well, at the end of the day, I own something. All this money is going towards something that I own, and at the end of 30 years, this is my place. Now, first off, I don't want to bust your bubble, but it's never your place. Even if you pay your mortgage off, if you don't pay your taxes, the government will take your house. So you never really own a property. At the end of the day, in this equation, you're only paying $175 a month in principal. For instance, our loan was only for $120,000, and exactly to the day, 2 years later, this is how much is left on the loan. We've really only paid about $4,000 in principal over 2 years. And that means the rest of that total money that we've paid in the 2 years to this mortgage company has gone towards taxes, insurance, and interest. Now, I'm not bashing the fact that owning your own house is a bad idea, because if it's a place that you want to start a family, if you know you're going to stay there for 30 years, it's a great idea. But if you're buying a place and you plan on leaving in 6 or 7 years, it's personally a terrible idea, because not only do you get to take advantage of the benefits of owning a house, you might time the market wrong. You might buy the place for $150,000, the market goes sideways, it's only worth 80 grand, and you have to move in 6 or 7 years. Maybe because you have a wife or a husband now and the place isn't big enough to raise babies, or you get a better job on the other side of the country. And now, not only have you been paying all this money for nothing, but you have to sell the house at what it's not even worth when you bought it. So now let's look at renting. This property would probably rent for about $1,350 in this market. On top of that, again, let's add the opportunity cost, because we're not putting $30,000 down to get this property. We'll probably put, first in security or first last in security, but that's still about $27,000 to $30 grand that we could put away in the S&P 500 and get that same 7% return. Now in total, we're only spending $1,175 to live in the same house every month. Some other benefits that you can add are the fact that you can leave whenever you want. You have mobility. As long as your lease is up, you can walk away. If something breaks, you don't have to fix it, and you don't have to worry about selling this house. And yes, there are some downsides to renting, like maybe after a couple months you don't like your landlord. Maybe you can't have a pet in a rental property, or maybe every year your rent goes up. These are all things to think about, but personally for me, and where I am in my life, and where I think most of you guys are in your life, renting is the smarter idea, especially if you're not going to be there for the full 30 years, because there are properties that people have bought in 2006, 2007 that to this day, more than a decade later, are not worth what they were when they bought it. Now remember, that's just my opinion. You guys decide what is better. Comment down below right now. What are you doing? Are you renting or are you buying? Are you planning on renting or are you planning on buying? Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, I'll see you.